Good morning, everyone. Happy 2025. So, we're into it, and I'm going to be talking about goal setting through this video because I think a lot of you will be sort of sat there, first day of work, you have these goals floating around, maybe you've made a note of them, but now it's a tsunami of real life that's going to hit. All the emails that you've avoided for the last 2 weeks, all the cans that were kicked down the road, through December, all of that now is going to come to bear at the very point at which you think I need to change something, and all of this shitstorm is going to come and change that and blow that out the water. Okay, so what I want to give you through this video is some resources and a framework or two or three that is really going to say, okay, despite all of that, these are the goals that I'm going to achieve through 2026. So a couple of resources I'm going to drop in the blurb of this video. One, I listened to a really good podcast between two of my favorite podcasters, Stephen Bartlett and Chris Williamson, and they're just talking about goal setting, productivity goals, etc., etc. Really good content, about 2 hours, I think it was. So worth the time. Take it, listen to it over a couple sessions, and hopefully that'll be of benefit to you. In that, Chris Williamson referred to his framework for goal setting. I'll create a PDF of it and I'll link it to this, but obviously in any platform, however you view your podcasts, the link will also be there in the show notes. The third thing I'll be doing is sharing our specific property business framework that we use for achieving our goals. In other words, these are the things that we want to achieve. What are the measurables that we want to implement to achieve those goals? Okay, we're talking dates, time frames. We're talking things like making sure we're setting quarterly reviews, etc., etc. So really nuts and bolts of, okay, I want to get to this goal. How am I going to get there? What are the things I need to do? And then the last thing will be an OKR, which is an outcomes and key results. It is something that is quite well known, but it gives you a good framework to be able to go and week by week go, what targets am I hitting, what targets am I missing? It allows you to then review, understand what you like doing, understand what you're good at, understand what you hate doing, understand what you have to do. All of those different elements to really, you don't want to wait 6 months to go, I really suck, I should have been doing that, X, Y, and Z. You want to be able to tell that after a week or two that actually I can see this slipping. Why is it slipping? How do I make sure that I achieve those goals? So those are the frameworks that I'm going to, the resources that I'm going to be providing with this video that will be linked below or attached. Then the other thing I want to talk to is just timeframes, because any of you who have ever talked to me about budgeting knows that I'm a very big fan of getting specific. The more specific you can be, the better your outcomes are always going to be. Always. Because if you don't know what you're starting with, how can you know what you want to go into and grow into, if that makes sense? So in this year, most of us are going to be in our heads, we just at the start of the year. We've got 52 weeks because there's 52 weeks in a year. I'm going to just bring a bit of reality to that. So firstly, most of us will finish work around the 19th of December this year for a very similar break than we've just had. We're almost a week into this year already too. That means we have 47 5-day weeks left in this year. Okay, we will lose 1 day of those to bank holidays. 1 week of those to bank holidays. So we have 46 weeks left in the year. We will we will use 6 weeks of those for holidays, broken weeks, school, if you've got kids, school holidays, etc., etc. So we have in effect 40 weeks in 2026 to achieve our goals. Okay, using that as your framework, you can now start to map out what are the things that I'm going to do over the next 40 weeks, and really drive home the change that I want to see. Further to that, I would take any form of an annual calendar and try and get some of those time blocks booked in. The August you go on holiday, April you go on holiday, whatever the case may be. Try and show that on some sort of, I'm a very visual person. I like to look at a 12-month calendar and go, okay, these are the times that I'm off. That then helps you to drive back, okay, I can achieve X, Y, and Z. in this time frame. The other thing is, this takes a bit of self-reflection, is look at what are the things that are going to motivate you, positive or negative, to make a change in your behavior or force you to do those goals. So as a personal example, I like to know how things work, and if I know how something works, either for a positive result or a negative result, that will drive me to do or not do that thing. One of my big goals this year is to stop consuming short form social media, so reels, shorts on YouTube, all of that sort of thing. I've realized over the last 6 to 8 months that I've really gone down a rabbit hole in those. And the way I did that was I did a bit of research on, because I know about this, I know sort of, from looking at it for my kids, I do understand that it changes their brain waves, and it does have a very material effect on the way your brain works and is likely to work in the future. And for me, doing that research and really going, okay, if I do this thing, that's going to be my outcome. Not if, but maybe, not, oh, this could happen. Okay, it's the 20-a-day cigarette habit. I'm very, very likely to get cancer. If I'm sitting for an hour and doom scrolling, I'm very likely to have some material negative neurological conditions going forward, and massive memory implications in the short term. So that's what's helped me drive those goals forward. So for you, you just have to find something that works. You have to find a mechanism that works, positive or negative, that allows you to go forward and achieve those goals. So I hope you found this useful. It's been a bit of a longer video, so I do apologize, but thank you for watching it. And I hope you found those resources useful, and we'll see you on tonight's call. Thanks everyone. Cheers. Bye.